Video is comprised of a series of stills. Whether you're shooting stills or video, there is a digital shutter that allows light to enter each frame. Now, back in the day, film cameras had a rotary shutter disc, and there was a wedge cut out of it. Now, the degree to which that wedge was open determined how long each frame was exposed. In these cameras, shutter angle was measured by degrees.
DSLRs usually measure shutter speed in units of time, typically fractions of 1 second. Now, if you slow down your shutter speed, you will increase exposure because you're letting more light into the camera that hits the sensor. But your motion blur will also be affected, which we'll talk about a little bit later.
As a standard, our frame rate determines our shutter speed. And now that we've learned that our shutter speed is measured in time, a fraction of 1 second, we can take the denominator in that fraction and make sure that it's double our frame rate. So if you're shooting at 24 frames per second, your shutter speed should be 1/48. If you're shooting at 30 frames per second, your shutter speed should be 1/60. These DSLRs don't quite get to 1/48 if you're shooting at 24 frames per second. So 1/50 will do just fine. So we'll learn more about shutter speed and how it affects motion blur and exposure in the next movie.